And welcome back to the Profile Pod. I'm your host, Double A, back for another spectacular episode of the pod. Now, we got a great interview in store for you tonight, man. We're live right here on YouTube, and this is the last interview, last episode of the year, 2022. So, very exciting year, man. Very proud of what I accomplished this year. I had some great interviews, man, and oh man, we're taking that momentum into 2023. And tonight, man, we have a very, very special guest. This gentleman is doing big things. He's an actor, and I can't wait to talk to him because I want to see what tricks he has up his sleeve. Because I'm an actor too, and he's doing things that I inspire to do as well, man. So, he's inspired me personally on a personal level, and so it's an honor to have him here. This is, like I said, man, this is always the podcast that brings on individuals doing extraordinary things in life to inspire the human spirit, man. And this gentleman is doing just that. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank everyone for all the love on social media, Instagram. Check out the reels, man. Check out the interviews, man. We got interviews like going back almost 4 years now. In January, it'll be 4 years doing this, so it's exciting, man. And we're gonna just continue to rock and roll. We're gonna continue to grow and expand and help people, man, and get involved in the community. So I got big plans for this platform, man. We're just scratching the surface, So let's go ahead and bring on our guest, man. This gentleman hails from the East Coast originally, and like I said, man, he's been all over the country, and from what I gather, doing my research, and so we're gonna get to the nitty gritty here with my man, and he's recently been on the Mayans, the hit TV show. He starred in Kilroy, in a film called Kilroy, recently, and among other stuff, he's done a lot of work as an actor, man. So we're gonna get to the bottom of it, and so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for the first time on the Profile Pod a very special guest, last but not least of the year, right here, Wilson Ramirez. How you doing, brother? Thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate you.
I'm good, man. Thank you. I'm blessed. Thank you for having me on your awesome show, man. 4 years, that's big.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, brother, next month, man, 4 years, and like I said, we're just getting started, man. But you know what, man? It's an honor to have individuals like yourself who are doing things out there, who are going after their dreams, who are inspiring others, man. Just doing it, man. And so thank you, man, again for taking the time. I know it's a little late. You're on the East Coast, but so
Yeah,
thank you, man.
yeah, no problem, man. Anything for you guys, man. Just long, just keep doing what you're doing, and I'm glad I can motivate you guys, and much success to you, man.
Absolutely, man. No, thank you, man. And yeah, I know you were recently here in LA,
Hmm.
with the Mayans and all that, man. And how is it working on that set, man? I mean, like you said, we were talking earlier. You said everyone's all so cool, and but it must be a great time on there, man.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. Everybody's good people, man. I have a bunch of brothers there from my old school. When I went to acting school, I got a bunch of guys there that are having great careers. And it's just very humbling, man. From the PAs to the cooks to the security to the wardrobe to the everybody, man. Like I've never been on a bad set, but the Mayan set is just incredible, man. It's very loving, very humble, very the guys are ready to do their job, and it's they're always eager. So it's a great place. It's a great place, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's lots of love and lots of professionalism all the way around, man, and
Oh yeah,
positivity.
man. Oh
That's
yeah.
awesome, man.
The
Yeah,
main thing about the main thing about those places is you need to you got to be coordinated. Everybody's got to be coordinated, and on set everything's a dollar sign. Everything costs money, man. So it's like a race car, NASCAR driver. He stops at the pit, gets fuel, gets the tires, gone. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's how it is. It's like it's work, but it's some downtime, which is fun, and then when it's work, and we hit all cylinders, you know.
Absolutely, man. I was watching your video on Instagram. You posted I think you were in the trailer on set,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, man, you could just tell you were like home. You were just like in your place, in your happy place, man. And that's
It
inspirational,
felt
brother.
it felt good, man. You know, COVID kind of took away a little bit of my passion
Mm,
you know, for you know, just because of what it did overall. It made things even more difficult. You thought auditioning and you know, getting to auditions and sacrificing was hard. And COVID made it 10 times harder. And it just was, I mean, it kind of made it a little easier too, a lot of, you know, self tapes and stuff like that. But at the
yeah,
same time, it was demanding. And I lost the love for it for a little bit. And it wasn't because of the art, it just because of just everything that came with it now. And it just was like, it just made everything kind of like, you know, I wasn't really feeling what good about it.
yeah. I mean, COVID screwed up a lot of stuff, man. A lot. You know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
sure did.
what's that?
Sure did.
Yeah, unfortunately, right? And people got affected. You know, we all know the story, but
Mhm.
yeah, I'm glad to see that you're back on track. It seems like, man, and you know, you did Kilroy, and it was Kilroy. That was that post COVID? Was that after COVID?
Oh, that was before COVID.
Oh, it was before. Okay,
Yeah, that was before COVID. Yeah, so
right.
you know, we had freedom to, you know, wasn't nothing like what we went through. But yeah,
Mm, yeah, man. Yeah, no. So Wilson, man, you're originally from New Jersey. You
yeah,
were born
Dover.
in in Dover, New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
And I got a little New Jersey tie. My wife was born in New Jersey, and
Hey,
she
forget about
what's that?
Hey, forget about it. What part? What part? What part of Jersey is you from?
They're from Willingboro.
Willingboro. Is that the
Well,
north?
yeah, near the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania state line.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. You're more towards like Camden and Newark and all that. I'm not Newark. Camden and yeah. I know you're at.
Yeah,
I
is
know
that
you're at.
North New Jersey?
It's about the northern. It's about the north, almost the south section and stuff. It's over there by Philly, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
I was more up towards Newark, pretty close to Newark. You
Okay.
know, New Jersey and stuff like that. But I mean, you know, but yeah, more or less.
Yeah. No, no. And so I mean, and how long were you in Jersey, man? Because I know you left at some point, and talk about that, like your child, you know, growing. When did you leave Jersey? How long were you there, brother?
I was born and raised till about 15 years old, and I left. We went to Texas. My dad had a plan to. He was already a truck driver, and he had a business deal with a friend. So we sold the house, bought a house down there in McAllen, Texas, where they're having all the border crossings and all that stuff. The town was really close to Harlan, really close to Rosarito and Del Rio River. I forget what it's called, but right down there in the border and stuff.
Rio
So,
Grande,
huh?
Rio Grande.
Yeah. And there's Del Rio's. They mentioned the Del Rio River a lot, something like that. But yeah, it's
Okay.
down there. And yeah, I was down there for about 2 years, and then we moved to Philly. Uh, about another 2 years. Graduated. Then I lived mostly all my life in my 19 to 20s in L.A.
Okay. So after so you went from Jersey to Texas back to Pennsylvania?
I went to Jersey to Texas, back to Pennsylvania. Yeah,
Wow, man. And so how
yeah.
was that transition for you, man? Was that difficult kind of moving around a little bit or
It kind of
like as a
sucked.
teenager?
It sucked. It was hard. It was hard because we never, you know, I mean, it just was, you know, meeting new friends and trying to fit in and, you know, all that stuff. And there was a lot of good things. But at the same time, it's like, when we had great times in Texas. My brother was driving at like 13, 14 years old. We was driving out there down the streets. We were going to, you know, crossing the border, 25-cent beers. I mean, we was doing stuff my parents had no idea what we was doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was great times, you know. But yeah, it's always it's always kind of hard trying to fit in, you know. And then out there was more Mexican, you know, it was more Mexican, Latino type people. And then you go to Philly, and it was more like, you know, white people and blacks, and there was Puerto Ricans and stuff like that. But it was more white and black in my area. So I don't know. It just fitting in was just it just was tough sometimes.
I see, man. Were you that kid that was were you pretty outgoing? Were you kind of shy? What type of kid were you, man?
I think I was a little both, and I was an athlete, so the athletic side of me was always, yeah, uh like the lead, you know what I'm saying? And then depending on who I was dealing with, man, I was open, you know, and charismatic and everything. And then to other people, I don't know, I kind of, you know, shied away or something like that. It all depended on who I was dealing with and stuff like that. But overall, I was good people. I was always good people, you know.
Yeah, I see, man. You weren't running the streets or anything like that, or were you getting in trouble at all with the law, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really get in trouble. I mean, I got into my little fist fights when I was in elementary school in Jersey, and then when I got into Texas, it wasn't too bad. And then when I got into Philly, when I went down there, I started getting into little scuffles here and there, mostly on the baseball field. You know, we have like a bench clearing brawl. And I remember we had one. Coach was pissed, and then I started that one, and I blamed it on one of the guys and stuff. And then when I got into LA, then I started getting into all kinds of stuff and into all kinds of, I mean, you name it, I was involved in a lot of stuff. And I don't know if it was I don't know if it was just the atmosphere, but I definitely something about the environment and gang environment in Los Angeles that sucks you in.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably got pulled in somehow, or you know. So when you came out to LA, was it with your family, or did you come out by yourself, or what was that like?
Yeah, it was always with the family, man. Like, you know, following Pop. Pop was, you know, a journeyman operator. When he lost his trucking business, he scraped what he could, and he left us for a while and moved to Pennsylvania to establish himself again at the old glass factory. And then we went out there with him after like a year or something, not seeing him. And then that after I graduated there, I worked with him. Then that plant closed down. So my dad scrambled and found the same general manager and went to El Monte.
Okay.
And yeah, so yeah, it was just I it was a loving, unstable type of free, it was unstable, loving, free kind of world we was in, I guess, because my dad wasn't around, so me and my brother were just thrashing, we just Pops was around, it was different. It was like lock it up, like oh, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
my mom, yeah, she was a pushover, man. I loved her, but she was very easy to deal with, Not like dad. Dad, you had to kind of tighten up when dad was around stuff.
I got you, man. I got you.
Yeah.
So during this time, man, during your younger years, man, when you were a teenager and you know moving, and were you rapping at this? Because I know you started out as a rap artist, right?
Oh,
And
yeah. I
yeah,
forgetting about that. Yeah. I mean, I was rapping in Jersey. I forget what song was the first song I heard, man. But it was like it was my white homies that were like basketball players and stuff, like two brothers that there was Mike Welsh, somebody else. I forgot his brother, Chris Welsh. They could
uh,
ball, man. They ball like brothers, right? And so they were playing some song. I forgot, man, but I got into it and I started rapping with my homeboy Chris. He was older than me and stuff. And then went to Texas, just was writing. I wasn't really tripping, writing, passing them to my friend, and he would write in his day at in class, and he passed it back to me, and we just keep writing. But then I didn't start really rapping till I came out to LA, man. I started, the Recycler. You remember the Recycler?
oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was going in there, man. In the back, they had like the music section or something. And I would go, and they would talk about studio for like $25 an hour at that time. It was like 25 an hour, 4 hour blocks, blah blah blah. And then I started rapping and I made a couple groups in my life, and yeah, we was on the verge of making it big. I mean, we did some stuff, we made some noise, but we didn't blow up like we thought. Well, we tried, but it was really hard in those days, man. A Latino group. I mean, you basically had to give up everything, and if you think about it, in music, you basically give up everything, and you probably will get promoted and get airplay and stuff like that, but you won't make a dime. Back
Yeah.
in the day, those contracts were horrible. So
Yeah, man. No, yeah, of course. We're talking what, Wilson, mid-90s? What's the time frame?
oh yeah, it was mid 90s. It had to be like early 92,
Oh,
92, and I kept it going till about 2000, and I want to say 2010, with a stop here and there. But it was Latin Bomb Squad for about maybe to 2000s, and then it was
NTS?
NTS, yeah, next to Serve, and I was for a while, and then and then I went to Suspects, and then after that, you know, that was it, man. I was already like 30 some years old. I was like, I don't know, man. This is,
Yeah.
you
No, no,
know,
no.
old ass about to on stage. I was like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna crack anymore.
No, but hey, you give it a shot, man. And I'm sure you learned a
Yeah.
lot. You made connections, you networked, all those years. And
hmm
how did that, how did the acting thing come into play, man? Talk about how, the whole thing with acting came about, man, and what sparked that, and what got you into that world.
Well, at the time, I think I think Facebook had just started. It was like 2010, something like that. And I had just, I stopped rapping because I was destroying my family. Family was all over the place. So, um, about a year of me just being without doing anything, I wanted to be in entertainment. I wanted to do something. And so I said, okay. I was talking to Emilio, like I would Facebook friend him and chat here and there. And he would write back. And I would ask him, how do you do acting or whatever. I want to do this and that. He would just give me little things like go to school, go where no Mexicans are, or like Glendale, Glendale College or something like that at the time. But
You're talking about Emilio Rivera, right?
Emilio Rivera, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He would just write back and tell me, don't go here, don't go there. Like, stay, be seen. Don't be like, don't be amongst all Mexicans or like people of your kind that stand out. You know what I mean? So I took his advice, and then a couple homeboys I knew from rapping, the Hardheads, and they used to have a car club. Well, they still do. It's called the Techniques Car Club out of Baldwin Park.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
familiar.
Um,
I've seen them. I've heard of them.
yeah. Shout out to Leonard and Redwood and to all the home of Groucho and to all those guys. But I asked them because they was on the mind. They was on Sons of Anarchy,
Oh, okay.
and I was like, "Yo, let me get on," because they was using they were using their old school, the lowriders. They were like, yeah, because Leño's girls, his lady is, I guess his wife now. He was like, yeah, my girl get you on, so she got me on. So I forgot. I mean, to this day it was about, I forgot the date. I had it in my head, but it was like I want to say 11 years ago.
Okay.
I was background for Sons of Anarchy, and I was playing one of the guys of the Galindo cartel.
Mm.
So that's how I started, and then yeah, then I caught the bug. I was like, well, I don't want to do this background. I want to be an actor. I want to be in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? So how I got to do that? And I took Emilio's advice. And at the time, I was living in Ontario, California,
Oh
and
yeah.
I was like, man, yeah, I was going to Ontario. I was living in Ontario for a while, and I was
Okay.
all over. It was all over the place, man. We ended up in Chino Hills towards the end, but Ontario, and then found a school there, right? Small little school called In the Moment Acting Studio, right?
Okay.
Um, and the guy who owned it was Tommy. Ended up he turned out to be a sucker, man. But I learned a little bit the time I was there. But then I took it to Hollywood because I said, well, if I'm gonna be any good, I got to go out there. So I started going out there to Anthony Gilardi acting school, and I met a
Oh,
bunch of people. Yeah, so I started going out there, man, at AGS, and yeah, man, got my feet wet there, man, and then that's it. Next thing you know, I just through trial and error, just started booking roles here and there.
yeah. You've been on a lot of projects, man. A lot of different productions, and so you booked your first role in '06, right? In 2006, the Blue Hour.
Yeah, the Blue Hour. That was, and that's funny, man. I did that one. Some girl out was rapping. She was from Albuquerque, and she was
Okay.
like, "Hey," I was with NTS, and she was like, "Hey," I wasn't even thinking about acting, and she was like, "Hey, you'd be good to be in this movie." And it was like a USC film, and the guy's name was oh man, it's an Armenian name.
Uh-huh.
It'll come to me. It'll come to me. I don't remember. Oh,
Okay.
Sarkeesian, something like that. But anyway, he was like, I got on his film, and Emily Rosa, not Emily Toaster, not from Emily Rosa. She's on a bunch of stuff, but she was on the last on what's the one with the Rick Ross movie the LA one? They talk about the crack epidemic and stuff like that.
Oh man. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man,
You got me, brother. You got me on
I'm
that one.
getting old, bro.
Me too, bro.
Um, free fall, not free fall. What the heck's it called? Um,
Yeah, I'm not
yeah,
sure, brother.
it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me, man. But anyway, she's a great actress. I met her there,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't think nothing of it, man. I think we was in Fourth Street neighborhood, Cuatro Flats neighborhood, and my homeboy came and we was kicking in. My homeboy like, hey, this is what you call it. No, homeboy, we was after the end, we was giving it up, and it was just we weren't even thinking about acting. And I met the lady there who played my girl. She's one of I think the owner of Casa 0101 in East LA. She
Okay.
was telling me, you should come to acting class. I was like, yeah, I'll come to acting class. I didn't even think about it, man. I was on one, I was just
Yeah.
doing my thing and stuff. So yeah, so really 2006 was my first one. That's funny. You kind of took it that far. That's pretty good research. But yeah, 2006 Blue Hour. Yep,
Thanks,
that's
man.
right.
Yeah. And so from there, so from Blue Hour, then I mean, like you said, you caught the bug, man, and that was it. And ever since then, yeah, you've been on all kinds of different projects, man. Lazarus and Mikey the Kid, and obviously the Mayans we talked about, and then
Yeah,
this one right here you started in recently. Shout out to Big Joe Castro for providing this for me. Giving me this when he was here, he gave me this, and
yeah,
you can watch Kilroy on Amazon Prime.
yep.
And, talk about Kilroy, man. How did you get involved with this project right here, brother?
Kilroy, Kilroy was a project with Pete Bollinger and um dang, I'm forgetting people's names, man. So
Yeah, you
um
got that.
Paul Maury, I'm sorry. And they hit me up. They invited me one time to go eat, and we used to have little Bible studies, and we would go eat and stuff. And I didn't go too many times, but there was one particular time I went, and they was like, you know what, you look like Kilroy, and I was like, oh, okay. And I said, who's Kilroy? But at the time, I wasn't too into like the lore of the big guys. So I knew about Joe Morgan and I knew about some other guys, but I didn't really know about everybody. So it's
Mhm.
not respectful to say who's Kilroy, not like that. Like who's that guy? Like it wasn't like that. It was my just was asking like who is he? Like, and they were like, oh, he's this guy, and I was like, oh, all right, cool. I'm like, well, no, and I was like, thinking about making a movie, and they were like, we want you to play the lead, and I was like, I jumped at the chance. I didn't really say no or think about it. I just did it because I was like, you know, guys like me, man, it's very hard to get a lead role. We usually play hefties or tough guys or
Mhm.
criminals, and criminals might get a pretty good or to no kind of role in the show. You know what I'm saying? A co-star or maybe a good guest star, but a lead. So I said, okay, the production, what's the value? Is it with the? I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do it on faith because it's a faith-based movie,
Yeah.
and I'm a spiritual guy, and I said, you know what? I want to do this because I really want to tell this guy's story. And so I didn't get a lot of backlash, like some people might have got from some other shows and stuff, other films they might have done, but I just felt good about it in my heart because I knew I was doing it for the right reasons. I wasn't doing it for the wrong reasons, and I think that's why I never really got no bad pub or something from it. Some people said some things here and there, but I think it was more like they just was you know it, people gonna be people. It's always gonna be some negative.
Yeah.
But that was great to play the lead on that. I really took into who he was, and I really tried to you know bridge the gap, you know what I'm saying? And acting, my coach told me bridge the gap between that actor and you, and what's the common denominator? What does he have that you have that you can bring? And so I did that, and once you do that more often and more often, it becomes easy, and you start to develop the character, and then next thing you know, you pretty much are who you want to be for that role. And I was happy, man. I met him. He's a good dude, man. He's an old guy. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Kilroy, to Roy. He always told me to call him Roy. He didn't like that Kilroy stuff no more. But
Wow.
um, well, like, he was a man of God now. And I think Kilroy was just, he had his own reasons why, you know what I'm saying? I could think of why he didn't want to do it, but he said, just call me Roy, because he went back to his name that they gave him when he was a baby, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
but it's like you calling you Lucky or Chewy or something where, I mean, Kilroy, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Kilroy was just I think he was doing something. He did something, and so they named him that. It's like when they named Monster Cody Monster. His name was Cody, but they called him Monster Cody because they said whoever did this must have been a monster. And imagine you got to carry that with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No
I
doubt.
don't. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know, but it was interesting. It was fun, man. And we did the best we could with what we had. I think the movie came out pretty good. I mean, it's not A+ class, but we did what we could and anybody who can make a better independent film, show me, I think
Yeah.
they did good for what it was worth, and we did the best we could, and we honored him the best we could, and I love it. I love the movie.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And what do you like most about your performance, man? How do you well, I want to how do you like your performance, man? Like overall,
With
Uh,
Kilroy,
yeah,
I think I hit it on the nose, to be honest. Not to I think I put the time in, I put the work in, and I wasn't lacking. I don't feel I wasn't lacking. Period. I knew what I was trying to do, and I got it done. Now, if I was unprepared, then yeah, I would probably feel a certain way. But no one can really. I mean, they could, but I don't. My performance, I'm just grateful that God gave me the opportunity. Roy gave me the opportunity because obviously he greenlit it and said it was okay. You know what I'm saying? So, regardless of what people might have said that he didn't greenlight it and this and that, that's from what I know they did that he did, and he was fine with it, and I think I honored him. You know.
yeah, no doubt, man. What is it that you want the audience or the viewer to take away from your performance, man? After they watch it, man, what is something that you want them? What's the message you were trying to convey? Or yeah, what do you want someone to feel or think?
I think
After they watch your performance.
I think the way just because we start our lives a certain way doesn't mean we have to finish the same way. Don't give yourself a break like they tell us in the rooms. Like don't feel like this is all you were. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're never gonna amount to nothing. There's a lot of guys from a lot of people's backgrounds that, should have been, dead to rights and never did anything, and just were and became um extraordinary people. And I think Roy was one of them. Saved many people. He actually, one of the times he went, last times he went to Africa and went to a prison, forget where, and he saved people in that prison. You know what I'm saying? He brought them to Christ, and
Mm.
those kind of things is like you change your ways. There's always a chance to do better, and always a chance to go to the right path. And I think that's the message that
Mm.
that Roy. I think that's what I love most about the message and stuff, man, because it's just, yeah, you could talk about what he's been and what he's done and all this stuff, but if you talk about the essence of what he came out of and what he stayed away from and what he glorified, and he said, I jumped out of that gang and went to this gang, to the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. I used to love listening to him because he was like, I jumped out of the gang. They said, oh no, you're a dropout. He goes, what do you call about? I ain't no dropout. He goes, I dropped in. I dropped into the King of King, Lord of Lords. And I was like, like, and even brothers like that, what can they tell him? It's like you know,
Yeah.
they want to see him successful. They want to see him successful from what I see. So, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. It was definitely a good movie, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the message and the theme and everything, man, and the performances, the cast. Um, what I want to give a quick shout out, Wilson, to my man Ralph Espada, the producer, and he had a question. We were talking about earlier. Were you thinking of Emily Rios or
Yeah.
Salva?
Thanks, man. Thanks. This right here on top of my neck doesn't work. Emily Reels. Yeah, she's great, man. She was very young and she was just starting, and now she's blowing it out, bro. Yeah. Yeah, she's a great actress.
Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. Yeah, Ralph's a good friend, man. Yeah, there's some other kind words here. You're incredible inspiration
Oh,
to a lot of people out there, Wilson. Keep grinding.
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank
you
you
being
very
here,
much.
Ralph. Thank you, man. And but yeah, I want to ask you, Wilson, as an actor, man. Some technical stuff here, brother, and because like I said, I'm an actor too. And how do you prepare for a scene, man? Like, how do you get yourself into that zone, into that mental, whatever it is that you want to call it. Talk
Well,
about some of that,
late.
man. How do you get to that, to that space where you're ready to go and you get into the character and all that good stuff, man.
Well, I guess I mean, I've done it for a while, so but it depends. But basically, you know, I do it a little bit different. I go over my lines, but I know in my back of my head, I gotta build the character. I can't just go over the lines. I gotta build the character. I gotta know who's this guy, and what's the story talking about, and how can I, like I said, how can I put him and me together, right? How can I make it him and me? How can I
Bridge the gap.
yeah, bridge the gap, exactly. So that, and then just being confident in what I'm about to embark on. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be ready. And just once I build that character, there's no lines. As my coach tells me, once you build the character, there's no lines. The lines are there, but there's just moments, great moments. You know what I'm saying? And you always want to know the moment before, what you're stepping into. You know what I'm saying? What you just come out of and what you're stepping into. And I'll give you an example. I was doing something in another film, and we just had like a scene where we just got chased by the cops or something like that, and we got away. And my time has, and I'm dealing with something with my daughter, and I just have a picture of her. So when we finally stop, the lady's asking me about my daughter, and then it's just like, I'm trying to put myself in what happened,
Uh,
what chances that we took, right, to get away what could have been. I probably wouldn't have seen her again. In the fact that the lady's asking me about my daughter, or is she my daughter? Because she doesn't really know who she is in the picture. Because I'm just staring at her while I'm just kind of idle, and then then these emotions come, and then you have to remember what you just came out of, and what you're bringing to the table now. So those kind of things, I mean, as you work through your character and you work through stuff, those are what kind of locks you in to, like, okay, this is, people can say, oh, this is good. It's not like, that something's missing right there. You know what I'm saying? It's those little things you always want to remember those things and tie those knots. You don't want to forget. Don't forget, like, where did I just come from? What's my purpose here? What am I doing? Those simple things there. I don't, and yeah, that's basically what I do. It sounds like a lot. It can be, but and me, my anxiety and stuff like that, it sometimes it can be a lot, but at the same time, it's like, it's fun once you nail it. It's very cool, and once you have it locked in and you nail it, you know what I'm saying? Regardless, because you know that you did work and you know that you was prepared. And that's the main thing for me.
I love that, man. I love that. I love that stuff, man. I was watching this documentary last week
Hmm.
with Sylvester Stallone. He was
Yeah.
talking about, I don't know, it's on Netflix, man. I think it's Netflix, and
Hmm.
they're remaking Rocky Four, and they were
Remaking
talking.
it.
Yeah, I mean, not remaking it. Man, they're editing and kind of, I forget the term. There's a
Remastering it.
remastering it, and they're editing certain parts out, and he's kind of taking us through the process of that, and he's like taking certain shots out and editing, and he's telling us why he doesn't like this particular shot,
Okay.
and it's fascinating, man, for me, and so, but he talked about how preparation, you know knowing your lines, and he said, and then I mean, it hit me so good, so hard that I memorized it right away. He said you gotta know it, you know, you gotta store it, and then you let it. He said, I mean, verbatim. He said, then you let it incubate and then
Hmm.
ferment it. You know, and I
That's
was
true.
what's that?
That's true. That's true. I like, if I can say something. That's
Yeah,
funny you said that, because when you take in, absorb what you just read, and you may read it a couple of times, and you may just, like, act it out, kind of like see what's going on, and then as the days go by, the fermentation begins, and it starts to come out different, and then you start to understand what's going on with those lines, and what's the real essence of what they're saying. But when you get on set and you actually deliver those lines, they'll come out even way more different than when you first started. So him, what he said was facts. Definitely.
yeah,
Definitely.
right, right.
Yeah.
It really resonated with me. I was like, wow, man. I mean, that's obviously Sylvester Stallone's the
Hmm.
man, right? And so I really took that to heart when he said, as an actor, I was like, oh man, I'm internalizing that. I'm going to remember that,
Yeah.
and it just made a lot of sense, man. And
Hmm.
but hey, Wilson, you also have some producer credits. You have writing credits,
Hmm.
and so you've worn different hats now, man. At this point in time, right?
Yeah, I wrote some stuff. I wrote Then I'll Rest. It was like a boxing movie. I was inspired. I forget what it was. Well, a bunch of Rocky movies, but I was inspired. I had a different angle I wanted to put on it, so I tried that. Writing is hard though. I mean, and I only say that because you have to, like, rewrite in the rewrites, and I'm like, man, I don't know, man. I just don't know if I could. So I rewrote that one a couple times, and I wrote another one I never finished called Wiffle Ball Champs, and it was more like a older guy version of, like, Bad News Bears or something like that, and but it's just like, I wrote it one time, like, I wrote the pilot, and then I wanted to do more, but I don't know. It's just not. It's. I need to dive into it more. Definitely need to dive into it more. You know what I'm saying? But at this time, yeah, I've done a little writing.
No, I wanted to ask you that, man. Which one, like out of acting, producing, writing, which one did you find the most challenging? It sounds like the writing maybe was right.
The writing is
You?
challenging if you're not doing it every day. You know, just like acting. If you're not well acting, you can get a little. I mean, I've gotten good at it. You know, thanks to God. But I could be a little rusty, maybe. You know, I mean, I had a long time of not doing anything. So when I got back on, it felt pretty good. I didn't really lose a step. But writing, if you don't do it every day,
Yeah.
and it'll take a minute, only because, you know, like if you use Final Draft or Celtics, you kind of have to break it down. You know how you have to write it and stuff like that. And if you don't do that every day, then you know it's like you know it's just doesn't it's not coming out smooth. But once you do it every day, then you lock in like scene this that boom 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? He said, she said, they said, and all the way down and stuff like that. And then it comes more. It becomes more. It comes faster and stuff like that. So it's just repetition. But I would say writing is probably the hardest. Acting's not gonna say easy, but acting's the funnest. You know,
Yeah.
that could change later on. It could change later on. I'm not saying that writing is all bad and I can't do it. It doesn't mean that. Just right now, if I had to do something, I'd really have to be like motivated. You know.
For sure, man. No doubt. Yeah, that's because like I said, man, you got out the box, eternal or things eternal. Then I'll rest.
Right.
As so
Oh,
many
the
right.
things eternal. You know what? That one was. I forgot about that one. Here you go. Man, that was a good one, man. At that one out the box was like my addiction. You know, I try not to talk about it too much because it's just difficult. I mean, I'm grateful, but at the same time, it's like, you know, it's just. But you know, shout out to everybody that struggles, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, out the box was great. I did that with Richard Cabral.
Oh,
I actually wrote it, and then I gave it to him. He was like, "Hey, we're gonna change it up a little bit, man." 'Cause I wrote it, you know. I had my style. He wanted me to do a little bit more, you know, his style. So it was still my words. He just added a little something, changed a little something here and there, and that was great. That was a great monologue and stuff like that, poem. And then when I did things eternal and that little section I did, that one was a good one. I wrote that. That one I wrote, I think one time. I wrote it and I wrote it like in I don't want to say an hour, but we shot that thing in 4 hours in San Bernardino. It took us four
really?
hours to shoot that whole scene. Yeah,
Out the
Alex,
box?
Alex, no. That one was about 4 or 5 hours, but that was like one scene. But the one we did with Things Eternal, the one
Oh,
what was the name of the I forget. Oh, it said Life. The name the name of the scene that I did, the episode on Things
uh-huh.
Eternal has episodes. Mine's Life. So
Okay.
Life, we shot that in San Bernardino in 4 hours and stuff like that. And my friend Alex Gerhardt and Manuel Ramirez, who just booked recurring role on Chicago Power Chicago. So he just shot that. So
Nice.
he's from San Bernardino. And Alex Gerhardt, I think he's from out there, San Bernardino and stuff. He gorillaed the whole thing. That guy is amazing. So
Wow.
yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Where can we see those, man? Like out the
Um,
box and things eternal.
Out the box, you have to go to just type in out the box Richard Cabral, and then you'll see Richards, you'll see mine. I think it's on Urban Kings, but you can type in out the box, and then Things Eternal. I think is on pay-per-view. Not
Okay.
pay-per-view. I mean, Amazon Prime. Ya estoy viejo.
Oh,
Yeah, Amazon Prime. You can go on Amazon Prime, and there was one we just did called Santa Muerte with Manuel Ramirez, the one I told you just booked Power Chicago.
uh-huh.
I had a good lead, him and me are homeboys. Had a good lead on that movie. And it's basically a guy who's FBI infiltrates a cartel, and he's going through you know trying to. It's kind of like Donnie Brasco.
Oh yeah.
Know what I'm saying? And
Just
I'm his homeboy who kind of gets him into the cartel. Yeah, kind of like Lefty did, and he's trying to get us, he's trying to bust us, and I'm his homeboy, and things get bad, and he turns on me and stuff like that. So
uh
but yeah, so that's Santa Muerte that just came out. We just shot that last year, so that's out on Amazon Prime.
I
So
gotta check
definitely
that out, man. I
check
got
that out.
Amazon. But it's funny. I just watched Donnie Brasco last night.
Yeah,
Uh,
Donnie Brasco's good. Check out Santa Muerte. It's really good. It's shot very well. Like I said, Alex shot everything. He shot himself. No cat, no crew. And it was one guy with a handheld, and I mean, a good camera. But um, it's funny, man, what people out there so talented can do. If they get the right money and they get the right people behind them, they're gonna have great careers, and they're going to have great films, but these guys are hungry, man. And, shout out to them for getting me on board. But yeah, Santa Muerte, Things Eternal, which is, like 4 episodes in one, like a movie, you know what I'm saying? Like Crash, had like 4 episodes.
oh,
And Out the Box, you can look that up on YouTube.
I'll
Wilson.
check those. Yeah, I
Yeah.
gotta check those out tonight, man.
Yeah, check out Santa Muerte. I think you'll dig it, man. Let me know. Give me some feedback on it.
I will, brother. I will, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Wilson, man. So what do you tell someone, man, when someone wants to get into acting? They have no clue how to get into it. What's the first course of action they should take? How do you advise someone, man?
I ask them if they're married or single first.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because, you're giving up a lot. You're giving up a lot. Think of it this way. It's like if you want a career in whatever, you got to go to class, right? So you got to get up every morning, or you got to get up after you just got off work, and you got to go to class.
Mm.
Right? You got to go to class, and that's time away from your family. And if you're single, that's just time away from your time, you know what I'm saying? But you could probably maneuver that. And then, you gotta say, what are you doing it for? Do you what- do
Uh,
you know? And then if you are interested, I would tell you, look into some acting classes. Or, you want to do some background, kind of get the understanding of what it's like, go to central casting, or depending on where you are. I mean, Atlanta, I don't know where they go out here, but try it, get your feet wet. And if it's something you feel, then I would say acting classes. But just know that it's a long marathon. It's not like, very few people, bam, you know what I'm saying? Very few people come from the streets and just like um, DeAndre Bonds, he went to a Spike Lee audition. He didn't do too well. They told him go back, study, come back. He got the audition. He had no acting experience, right? Like the other guy from what was the other movie I saw? The Malik, the guy who was on Paid in Full, man. Oh God, I can't remember his name. But anyway, he
uh,
had no acting experience, but he went to Spike Lee and he saw the talent in him. So what I'm saying is, very few people just don't have the it factor, and don't have to have acting classes for whatever reason. Um, but people like us, we have to take acting classes. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
sure.
I've been acting all my life, so I've always been a character. So, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there too. But it takes work. It's like a mechanic. You can't just half-ass mechanic. You gotta be a mechanic. I'm a wheel operator when I'm not doing this. I'm a blue collar, true to the blue wheel operator, and I gotta know my wheel. And if I don't know my wheel, then I got guys telling me I ain't nothing, I ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And you effing off. And you gotta know it. And same thing with acting. You can't half-ass it. You gotta go for it. And the fruits come when they come. They're not gonna come immediately. And you got to understand that, man. And a lot of competition out there. A lot of competition. Horse blinders. just gotta stay focused. And that's it. That's what I would tell you, And if you ever have any questions, tell me, let me know, and I'll definitely help you out with whatever you need, to the best of my ability. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man. I love that. I love that. It's
Uh-huh.
everybody's got their own path and their own story, their own journey into it.
Yeah.
But I think one thing for sure, like you said, man, you gotta ask yourself why do you want to get into this business? Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to
Yeah.
act?
Yeah.
I think that's a great question, man.
Yeah.
'Cause it's a
I
grind,
mean, you
right?
want
It's
to
a
make
hustle.
money. I mean, I've always wanted to make money, but I've come to terms with I might not make money. Like, I'm not a millionaire or a thousandaire or 10,000aire. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But I love being in front of the camera. I love being able to show, bring something to life, and people say, wow, there's been a lot of actors out there, not just me, but people haven't broke the bank, from doing movies. And I just saw a clip from Blood In, Blood Out, when the brother that's a cop now goes to the brother's house. He's painting. And he's painting his brother,
Yeah.
his dead brother, and his homeboy's there. That's a great scene, man. Those guys
Oh,
are great. Those guys are great actors. I mean, Brad. I mean, I'm forgetting everybody's name today, but you know what I'm talking about. The guys in there.
Jesse
Some of them,
Borrego.
yeah, some of them have gotten popular, but the one guy who was the painter, he didn't do a whole lot of stuff. I don't remember seeing him on a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
Jesse
the other
Borrego,
guy,
right?
who?
Jesse Borrego.
Jesse Borrego, yeah, but he's the one that didn't get a lot of notoriety. Yeah, he's a great actor,
Yeah.
great actor. But he did. I never seen him in a lot of stuff. I mean, unless I don't watch TV, you know what I'm saying. But the other two, they've gotten better stuff.
Yeah.
But Borrego's a dynamite actor, dynamite,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
and that's how the ball bounces, man.
That's
You have to
interesting,
be
man.
okay with it, man. I have to be okay with that, man. It's the passion. It's the art. People who are artistic, to me, I mean, it's a fact. You don't break the bank. It's not. There might be some, but the percentage is very low, man. You
Wow.
know,
Uh-huh.
but the passion's always there. You can always call me, and I'll always bring it. Right? Just the money
Love it.
not money.
What's that?
I said just the money might not be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'll bring the passion. I'll bring that. The money might not come, right? Like they might not have, right, what you're worth, right? That's the thing, right? Working for what you're worth. And then sometimes there's a project where you're like, I don't know, man. I kind of need, all right, I'll do it because it talks to you. It calls you. It tells you, man, I need you on this. You would be great. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and I got, that's what I'm saying. You're married and you're single, right? You're married, you're single, then that goes in there too. Like, right, hey babe, I took a job, right? Oh yeah, well, are you gonna get paid? Well, it's a
Oh,
great script. It's a great script though, right? And she's like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
yeah. No, that hit hard, even harder right now. It clicked even more right now when you
right.
said
And it's like that, man. And some people can turn them down. People say, nah, I don't want it. I ain't gonna do it. You're gonna pay me, I'm not doing it. Yeah, and I get it. And some other people, they're just like, man, but dang it, I don't want to lose that chance. Like, man, I would love to be in this film. This film is great. This is a good story. And they go for it, you know what I'm saying? Well, let the pieces fall where they may, and
no doubt, Wilson. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's you know, talking about Jesse Borrego, he's working on a project with I don't know if you know Sonia
yeah,
Balthazar and Anthony
addicted to you,
Fernandez. What's that?
addicted to you,
Yeah, there you go.
bro. I want to work with Davey, man. What's his name? Oh, Davey. He's on Instagram. Oh, Davey.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I know
bro.
you're
I've
talking
been
about.
wanting, I've been wanting to work with him, man, for so long, dude. Four Way Entertainment. Those guys bring
Yeah,
stellar stuff. but I left LA and I never had a chance. I'm like, man, yeah, that's he's with a friend of mine. He's working with a friend of mine, Anthony Fernandez. I think Anthony plays the lead in one of those. I
Yeah,
think
Anthony.
yeah, Anthony
Anthony's been on
Fernandez.
here, and Sonia, and oh man, small world, bro.
Anthony's cool people, man. That's my boy right there, man. And he does great work, and he does the same thing. His techniques are very similar. I mean, he's very on it, and nothing but love and respect for that guy, man.
Oh, 100%, man. Yeah, he came on earlier this year,
Yeah,
and we had a great conversation. And I haven't met him in person yet, but we stay in touch and on Instagram and social. And
yeah.
but but yeah, man, it's great to see all these Latino actors out there doing their thing, man. It's being inspirational and really doing it, man.
Yeah, I can't wait till we blow it out the water, man. I want us to stand out there, man. I want us to really, like the gentrified and this fool and and we have more. We can have more and more stuff that starts to impact people's lives, man. Because we are a silent majority in this world, in this country, man, and in this world, Latino population is massive, and we need to be heard, man. I would love to. We have great actors, man, everywhere. You know.
Absolutely, brother. Too much talent all over, in every category, right? Producing, directing, writing. I mean, across the board, acting.
Sure,
I mean, artists, painters. It's amazing, man. And
sure, it is, man. It always trips me out how like the Grammys are so big and the Latin Grammys are so small.
mm,
I don't
yeah,
know. I don't get it. I never. I just it's like the budget's not there or something. I don't know, but it's just something different about it. I don't know. It's just me, I guess.
I hear you, Wilson. But things are changing, man. I think that things are changing, and guys like you or yourself are paving the way and leading the charge. So we're on it, man. And I'm doing.
Give me that chance, baby. Just give me that chance.
That's
You
right,
know.
man. That's right. Wilson, man, before we start wrapping things up, man, what can you tell us about some upcoming projects for yourself, man? What can you shed some light on some things, man, for 2023? What do you got lined up? You know,
We got Monstro did a horror movie called Cholo Zombies,
oh,
right?
Vince Romo.
Yeah, Vince Romo. That turned into Monstro.
Yeah,
And I've been talking to the producers and the director of that movie, and we're thinking about doing a spinoff. Um, and I'm gonna be I want to be they want me as like all over it type of thing. So that's that's new. Monster should be coming out soon. They've just
yeah.
finished doing some finishing touches on that. Um, we got Mayans. That should be, once they finish that up, we should be dropping that in Hulu, FX. I got the film that I did that they should be finished editing that. Hopefully by the new year, we should be hitting some festivals. See what happens. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, if people's reactions turn out good. Other than that, just gonna be auditioning and getting on board with some new shows. Shining Veil, I'm a recurring. It's a Courtney Cox show on Stars. Shining Veil episode first season, season 2 they just got picked up, so maybe I'll be on that one again. Hopefully that'll be a nice little check, and it'll be good to work with them again. But other than that, just auditions, man. Once I get in there and see what's good, and hopefully we make it through the new year without no war. Ha
Yeah.
ha ha. No,
I know, right?
yeah, yeah.
No,
I hope,
I man, how's the scene out there? And now, all your work, you come out to LA or to Cali, or anything you doing
yeah.
out there and where you're at?
Well, I'm looking for an agent out here right now. Everything's kind of locked down because of the holidays. So I have an agency in mind that we've been talking to. So hopefully we get picked up, and we get picked up. Hopefully, I'll probably do more work out here. It'd be good to be local instead of going to LA. I mean, it's just I'll do it for Mayans, and if they if there's any other spots out there, but basically if I can shoot out here and keep it local, I'll probably keep it out here, but we'll see. Who knows? Wherever they need me, and if the money's right, I'll definitely do what I gotta do because expenses and stuff like that and flying out. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Very cool, man. No, man, I'm looking forward to see more of your work, Wilson. And
Thank you, man.
absolutely, man. I wish you all the success, man. Continued success, and maybe one way, you never know. One day we'll work together and
Yeah.
collaborate again. And yeah, man. I want to thank you so much for coming on, man. It's an honor to have you here, brother.
Hey, thank you for having me. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep your head to the sky, brother, and that's it, man. Don't let no one tell you different. All right.
Absolutely, man. 100%, man. And like I said, man, you're an inspiration to all of us, and you're trailblazing and leading the way, man. So,
Thanks.
absolutely, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, you have Wilson Ramirez. Go check him out. You know what? Oh, before we leave, Wilson, I'm so sorry, man. Tell us where we can find you, man. Websites, social media, IMDb, whatever.
All right. I got a TikTok called Wilson Ramirez Jr. I got an Instagram called Wilson Ramirez, and I have a Facebook Wilson Ramirez, and that's it. That's it. I ain't got no Twitter, nothing like that. So if you look at find those Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, you'll find me, man. I share some posts here and there. I share what's on set, what I do on set, some inspirational quotes here and there. Something I'm feeling after I read some stuff in the morning or whatever throughout the day, and you know, just good inspirational stuff. Nothing crazy off the wall, man. So maybe some fun stuff here and there sometimes.
I see you. I see you out there, man. Yeah, for sure, brother. There it is, man. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Wilson Ramirez. Go check him out. Go follow him. Tap in with him, man. Go check out his work on Amazon Prime and beyond. And he's got some he's doing big things out there, man. And so um, it's always an honor having good people on here. And so I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight, man. Right here on the Profile Pod with Double A. We'll see you guys next time. We'll see you next year, actually, 2023. And man, I can't wait to see what's in store for this year, man. We're like I said, we're taking that momentum and carrying it on over and continue to grind and push forward and build, man. And so that's all we can do, man. So, Wilson, thanks again for coming on.
Got it, man.
Absolutely, brother. We'll stay in touch, man. Let's stay connected. And like I
Right.
said, man, maybe we'll work one day on a set somewhere, brother.
That's it.
That's it, man. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We'll see you guys next time here on the Profile Pod, hosted by Double A. And for Wilson Ramirez, don't forget to connect with me on social media, Instagram, Apple Podcasts. Leave me a rate and review, all the good stuff, man. I love the feedback. I love the tell me what you think about my work and any suggestions, guests, whatever, man. So it's been a hell of a year, man. It's been a hell of a year, and going on 4 years now, man. Unreal, man. So I'm gonna keep rocking and rolling, man. For Wilson, I'm Double A. We'll see you guys next time. Wilson, thanks again, brother. I appreciate you, brother.
All right.
God bless you, man. God bless you. And
You
always
too, man.
remember to take it easy.
Hey, all right.
All right, Wilson.
Later, man.
Thank you, brother.